Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Venus and today I'm doing my Summerween TBR. Summerween is one of the few times that I actually do make TBRs. I stopped doing monthly TBRs. It's been about 2 or 3 months now and it's been going great. But I did want to plan an actual list of books that I want to try to get to for Summerween. If you don't know what Summerween is, it is a readathon that is hosted by Gabby from Gabby Reads. It's where we bring a taste of Halloween into the summer, and there are 5 prompts, so I'll go over each prompt. It starts July 5th through July 11th. The first prompt is super easy. It's read a book in the dark, which could just be laying in bed reading from your Kindle or with your little book lamp or on your phone, or if you really want to get in the mood, complete darkness and a flashlight. Whatever tickles your fancy, but for this one I'll probably be reading in bed because that's what I do normally anyway. How cool would it be though to like set up a tent in the backyard and just read overnight with like a bunch of snacks in the tent and be right near your house so you can run in if you need anything? That sounds so fun. I'm not doing that, but in case you have access to a tent in your backyard, then definitely do that. That sounds like a great time to me. So the second prompt, super easy, read a thriller or horror book. So I do have quite a few options for this one. The first one that I definitely want to prioritize, I just talked about this book in my new release for July video that I'll post above, but it's going to be Breaking the Dark by Lisa Jewell. This is the first book in a new Marvel crime series, and it's adult thrillers that take place in the Marvel world. I think it's also part of Disney as well, but I am so excited to read this one. So this book is about Jessica Jones. She used to be a superhero. Now she is a private detective, and a mom comes to her and says that her 2 twins have come back from her father's house. Recently, they were in the UK visiting their father, and they are completely different children. They have like no personalities. The things that made them unique are all gone. So Jessica Jones goes to the UK, meets up with a girl named Belle, I think that's her name, who her twins used to hang out with, and tries to get more information, and it just sounds so good. I cannot wait to read it. It comes out on July 2nd, so I'm definitely going to prioritize that one. It also has, so another prompt, because I'm sure you can mix these prompts around, but another prompt is read a book that takes, no, not that one. Read a book with the night sky on the cover, and this one looks like it has a night sky on the cover, so this could be like 2 or 3 prompts if I read it in the dark. Another thriller I want to try to get to is The Return of Ellie Black, and this is by Imoko Jean. This is a book of the month copy that I got for May, and this is a thriller. So this one says a missing girl returns, but that isn't the end of the story. It's only the beginning. It's been 20 years since Detective Chelsea Calhoun's sister vanished. Ever since, Chelsea's been searching for signs, for closure, for other missing girls, but happy endings are rare in Chelsea's line of work. Then a glimmer of hope, local teenager Ellie Black, who disappeared without a trace 2 years earlier, has been found alive in the woods of Washington State. Only something isn't right with Ellie. And then it goes on from there. So this is a pretty short one. So I figured I would have this as an option too. And then for horror, this has been sitting on my shelf for a little bit, but this is called Brother by Anaya Alborn, and I don't know very much about this. I think this might have like cannibalism in it. I'm not sure. It's giving me like Wrong Turn vibes, but it's about a family that does some like jacked up stuff, and one of the family members I think wants to get out of this craziness. Don't know too much more than this, but I hear about this book all the time. I think it's pretty gruesome. Definitely a horror book. So this is an option too if I'm in the mood for that kind of horror. And then this book, The Book of the Most Precious Substance by Sarah Gran. This is marketed, from what I hear, as an erotic thriller. I don't know anything more than that. For this one, I want to go into it completely blind, but if I'm in the mood for an erotic thriller, then I might check this one out too. So those will all cover like thriller or horror prompts. The third prompt is read a book with the night sky on the cover. So for this one, I chose In the Hour of Crows by Dana Almendorf. And I saw Becky from Bex Reads talk about this book, one of her favorite books for the first 6 months of 2024. And she just described it so wonderfully that it really intrigued me. And I literally bought it that day. So this one has witches in it. And I know she said she cried, and it just seems so interesting. I love this cover, but it says let me see. In a small town in Appalachia, people paint their doorways blue to keep spirits away. Black ferns grow where death will follow. And Weatherly Opal Wilder is a death taker. That sounds so good. I don't know. The vibe of this book just really interested me when she talked about it. So, and it's short, and it's also coming out. The audiobook is coming out on Everand on July 2nd. So I could probably get through this really quickly. This book also covers another prompt where it's read a book that has 5 words in the title. So this one fits that prompt as well. So I have another book that I'm going to talk about a little later that also has a night sky on it. There's like, I think so far 3 books that have a night sky, but the next prompt is, like I mentioned earlier, is read a book that has 5 words in the title. So another option that I wanted to have is The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This is also a new release that's coming out on July 2nd that I talked about in the July new release video. This one is about a very wealthy family who has 2 children that go missing at a summer camp that they own. The first child, the brother, went missing 14 years ago, and now recently, and this takes place in 1975, the sister goes missing in the same summer camp, and it sounds like this family has a bunch of secrets. Hello. It sounds like this family has a bunch of secrets, and this town has a bunch of secrets. I don't know too much about it. That's all I'm going to go into it with. I think this book is a book of the month pick for July. So, that'll be super easy to grab too. Hopefully if you get it shipped before the end of Summerween, but this one is definitely an option. And the next book is read a book that takes place in the summer. So I have a couple for this one as well. So I have Chasing the Boogeyman, and this one is by Richard Chismar. This also has a nighttime cover. And this one takes place in the summer of 1988. The mutilated bodies of several missing girls begin to turn up in a small Maryland town. I live in Maryland. I thought this would be really cool to read. And it says the grisly evidence leads police to the terrifying assumption that a serial killer is on the loose in the quiet suburb. And soon a rumor begins to spread that the evil stalking local teens is not entirely human. And then it goes on from there. It's a whole synopsis, but I'm very interested to read this. So this is high priority too. It's pretty long though. Well, no, it's not. It's under 300 pages, so that's not too bad. And then if I'm in the mood for a romance, we have This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. This one says Lucy is the tourist vacationing at a beach house on Prince Edward Island. Felix is the local who shows her a very good time. The only problem, Lucy doesn't know he's her best friend's younger brother. Right, so I have a romance as an option as well. And then the last book for the summer prompt is I really wanted a slasher, a really corny B-movie slasher. So I turned to Kindle Unlimited and I found Kill Hill Carnage by Tim Meyer. And this one is These Woods Are Dark and Full of Monsters. In 1991, hell was unleashed upon St. Christopher's summer camp for kids. The killers left behind piles of bodies and rivers of blood. Some say a family of inbred cannibals were responsible. So typical slasher B-movie type book that it sounds like. And this cover is so campy that I just definitely need to get to this one. It sounds like a fun time. Hopefully it's written somewhat well. And then also, if you're looking for a really good slasher, summer slasher, I definitely recommend Cirque Berserk. It is still my favorite slasher that I've read because I just loved how certain horror movie tropes were turned around, and it was just a very interesting slasher book. I loved it. Still my number one. I have not found anything that has taken that spot yet, but it takes place at a carnival, and it's got all the just slashery fun times that you look for in a good summer slasher. So if you're looking for something to read that I know is enjoyable, definitely check out Cirque Berserk. Okay, that's it. Just a quick video of books that I have on my radar. I won't necessarily read all of these during the week of Summerween, but wanted to share them with you. Please let me know below, are you participating in Summerween? And if so, what books are you looking forward to reading? As always, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you again soon. See ya.